Okay, here we're back again. Now, one thing in the last part that I didn't mention is that, which you've probably seen already, whenever it makes the large laceration and the infant Savato come, they come from the center. So you want to kind of do a combination of prediction and calculation whenever it makes a laceration and the infant Savato come out. You want to position the laser just outside of the middle of it so you can get all of them, or if not all of them, you'll have a couple stragglers, but that's not much trouble. Now you're going to notice that a lot more goes my way in this operation than it is in the other operation, so not much can be said that hasn't already been said, besides this fact that this is the do's and don'ts of Savato. And you can leave straggling infants behind as long as it's not in the last part where it will absorb them and make its armor stronger. If you have to make a choice between destroying an infant or having to cut another web because it's made another one, I'd say destroy the infant and just wait it out, because while you're waiting for the scalpel to come back, you can actually use the laser to destroy that infant along with other infants, and maybe even have time for an injection, which leads to not having to worry about as much recovery in this step. But you will notice that I do a lot better. I actually remembered to keep the vitals at around 50 rather than 25 in this part, so it doesn't lead to as many unpredicted problems like that stupid unregistering suture, which does not happen in this operation. Also, you'll notice that when I'm at Naomi's side of the heart, that there's some unpredicted anomaly that sometimes occurs whenever it makes a laceration where the infants come out, and that's that it'll make a very, very, very small laceration in comparison to what it usually does. It comes out looking like a little pinprick, and I'll point that out, and you know, that does technically sometimes screw up your prediction of where the middle is. You'll notice sometimes my I knew when I bought a second Wiimote that I should have bought a second nunchuck too, because this nunchuck sometimes screws up and it'll go to drain when I want the laser. Like that. I need to find some way to cut that open and clean it out, or not cut it open. Watching too much of these videos. I need to find some way to bring that open and clean it out. Like that. That right there, that laceration is really small for having the infants come out. And you'll notice there that it made way too many infant Savato, but you do want to make sure that they're not in clusters, because 5 or 6 of them, I'm not sure the exact number, but if 5 or 6 of them are in a cluster after a little while, they'll form the blue Savato, which, as I mentioned before, brings the vitals down permanently until you can destroy it. So, yeah, of course, try to destroy it. It does go nuts in this part with the lacerations, but it kind of calms down a little bit when it gets back to Derek Styles' side. Yes, he is an annoying bastard, isn't he? And I also agree with that. Let's cut it up. I don't get it. Some of these sutures actually look a lot more reasonable than... Or wait, some of the ones that didn't register looked a lot more reasonable than some of the ones that actually registered. Which I don't understand. I don't understand how a freaking jigsaw puzzle suture could come out as a cool, but well, to each his own, I guess. And that was a problem right there because I ran out of my laser. So wait, it was a double it was a problem, but it was kind of a blessing too because I managed to get another part of its armor down. And the lovely conclusion. Now this is absolutely pointless. Don't even bother bringing the vitals up. I just forgot there for a second because the vitals automatically go down to 30 anyway. And then Naomi's healing touch takes effect and voila! Vitals go up for every suture. And the heart all of a sudden becomes more cut than heart. But yeah, concentrate on this. I usually do it until I'm around 400. When I hit 400, then I usually activate Derek's time stop. It's preferable if they're in large clumps like the one on the right, like 5 or 6 on top of each other on the right. Because then it really wouldn't matter how you how exactly you suture. I think I'm not exactly sure how the game mechanics work, but I think it registers the best possible suture for the situation. Like if it's a bad on one, it'll register a cool on another. So, I don't know. But don't let your sutures go down to red, because then you'll run out. And I've actually seen situations where, not me specifically, but I've seen videos that people actually start losing vitals because their suture runs out, and then when the vital damage starts registering, it like plummets, so then you have to quickly activate the time stop. So yeah, somewhere in that line I got a bad, which screwed my chain up, which ticked me off. If I wouldn't have gotten a bad, well, even if I would have gotten a cool and kept my chain up, I think my record's like 30,000 or something like this, but I still get an excess on this mission. So, and just like that, the last guilt is dead. Savato, I don't care what anybody says, Savato is far more epic than that crappy Stigma strain Cardia. Kiryaki's better than Care. Soma, I don't even know. The only one that's actually cool is Onyx the Claw. But you won't exactly see me do New Blood videos for a while, if ever, because it's a lot harder. So, but there we go. Bye-bye, everyone.